some movies I haven't seen.
You might be wondering why I chose to start this video by showing you a trailer for an AMC movie, or a TV series, I'm sorry. And there are two reasons for that. First off, I am a huge fan of the comic book series The Walking Dead, which is written by my former landlord, actually, Robert Kirkman, and it is being turned into a TV series that premieres on AMC on Halloween. So, if you like zombies, then I cannot recommend this series to you enough. Can't speak directly about the TV series because I haven't seen it. Obviously, it hasn't premiered yet. But I love the comic books, and I'm very excited about the TV series. So, I'm going to check it out. Hope you do too. The comic books themselves are a little bit different than your traditional zombie type story, because mostly those tend to boil down to how do we survive the night. And, you know, you all know the tropes, like, you know, for whatever reason they're zombies. They never really explain why they're zombies, which is good. I like that. But anyway, now they're zombies, and so, you know, the survivors wind up, like, sheltering themselves up for the night while the zombies try to break in, and then sun comes up and the movie's over. Well, with Walking Dead, that's not really how it goes down, because it goes into more like what happens after that night, and that's when things really get complicated, because then you have to, with the other survivors, figure out how you're going to live in this zombie-infested wasteland. So, the comic books are great. I have very high hopes for the TV series, and I know that that leads to disappointment more times than not, but I'm still optimistic. I'm very hopeful. The second reason I wanted to bring this up is because it allows me to talk about a role-playing game that I'm interested in. And, you know, it's Halloween, so, or not yet, but it's October, so everybody's getting all Halloween-y, which is definitely my favorite time of the year. And the role-playing game that has been brought to my attention is simply called The Dead. It's been around for a couple of years. It's an independent game, very rules-light system that deals with zombies. And there are several games out there that deal with zombies. Most of you have probably at least heard of, if not seen or played, All Flesh Must Be Eaten, which for a lot of people is like the go-to zombie game. And not knocking it, okay? I'm not a huge fan of the system that it uses, but still, good game, high production values, rock out. The Dead is a little bit different. Like I said, it's a rules-light system that uses dice pools using D6s. But what really, really struck me about this game, and the reason I became interested in it enough to talk to you about it here, is that the game has two really cool mechanics to it. The first one is relationships, because in The Dead, your relationships with other characters, whether they're player characters or NPCs, become extraordinarily important. So you have you actually have a relationship score with different characters. So, you know, characters that you have a really strong relationship with, like, you know, maybe a sibling or a best friend or, you know, a spouse or a significant other, those are going to have really high relationship scores. And while characters that, you know, maybe you're just pals with, or you haven't known for that long, or, you know, whatever, will have a significantly lower relationship score. And these scores are important because you use those scores to give yourself bonuses when you're trying to help each other out. So, while you might be trying to run to the rescue of someone that you have a really high relationship score with, your relationship score can actually be used to help you in that situation. Whereas if it's someone you don't have that type of emotional bond with, then you don't have that option. You can also share relationship dice with people that you're close to. So if you have a relationship score with another person and that person needs to, they can get a bonus from your relationship with them. Like, you can give them your bonus and help them out like that. And that's really cool, and I think it really gets to the heart of one of the things that sets Walking Dead apart from other zombie survival stories, because after the apocalypse, your relationships with people become very, very important. And I'm really impressed with the way this game handles that, and it's certainly a very cool mechanic. So, like I said, it's called The Dead. There will be a link in the information section to that game's website, and I think there's a free demo for it. At least check that out. There'll also be a link to the full trailer of The Walking Dead. And another thing that The Dead does that I like is you have another score called Cold. And what that represents is how emotionally distant your character is. And your cold stat is kind of cool because one thing it does is it limits how high your relationship score with other characters can be. So if you are a cold and distant person, you can't form as strong emotional bonds with other people as someone who isn't. And how do you get a higher cold score? Well, you get it by doing things that makes you become distant. If you isolate yourself, if you go off by yourself and don't have human contact for a while, then your cold score goes up. If there's someone in danger or in need of your assistance and you refuse for whatever reason, your cold score goes up. If you murder another living human being, then your cold score goes up. And one of the best ways to get your cold score to increase is by the death of someone you have a relationship with. So if one of the characters that you have a relationship with dies, then you will gain your cold score will increase based on how close of a relationship you had. So as time goes on in this game and you lose the people that you're close to, you're going to become cold and more distant over time. And man, that's cool. Also your cold stat gives you a bonus to fear checks and stuff like that, so you can look at it like that. So while you become more distant and detached from other people, you also kind of become more fearless in the face of the stuff that you guys are facing daily, namely zombies. So, zombies. So, that's The Dead. At least look at it. It's a pretty decent game, in my humble opinion. So, there's that. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is just to let you know that there is now a free demo for Devil's Crossroad that is available on DriveThruRPG. RPG DriveThru? Whatever. That site that sponsors my channel. Check that out. It's free, and even if you didn't get the full game, like you weren't involved in a playtest or whatever, this at least gives you enough information to get started. Tells you how to build characters, gives you the basics of the system, and like I said, enough to get you started. And it's free. So, really, all I got for you today, watch Walking Dead, check out The Dead, demo for Devil's Crossroad available, links in the description, check those things out. I hope everybody's having a great time, and I will talk to you later. Peace.